Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit. I'm starting to believe that I'm the Dave Ramsey of the carnivore diet. If you're not familiar who Dave Ramsey is, he's a financial guru. When he initially started off in life, he went broke. Then he turned things around and became rich. And then unfortunately, he went broke again. But now he's a multimillionaire, so he's a financial success. You're asking, how does this relate to the carnivore diet? It doesn't really, it's just an analogy. I was fat, I was unhealthy, and I was miserable. Then I went on the carnivore diet, I lost a bunch of weight, I got healthy again, and I felt great. And it was honestly one of the easiest things I've ever done in life. You simply eat meat, you eat butter, and you eat eggs. And then life happens. You make excuses, and you fall off the wagon. And you eat like you did before when you felt like crap. Fat, unhappy, unhealthy, and miserable. It's like Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires. And that's what I was starting to consider my life, a forest fire. Burning out of control and ruining everything in its way. Besides feeling like crap, it took me seeing myself in the mirror after getting out of the shower one day.
Boogeyman!
So I could just sit back and eat everything I wanted in sight, or I could take back control of my life and become healthy and happy again. So for my own sake and my two daughters' sake, I decided for the latter. Just think, if Dave Ramsey quit and gave up the first time he went broke, he wouldn't be a multimillionaire today. Again, I'm using Dave Ramsey's determination and success not only as an analogy, but as motivation on getting healthier and happier. But before I get started on showing you what I've been eating for the past 2 weeks, I want to explain a couple things. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you already know. If you haven't been watching my channel and you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, you're not going to know what I'm getting ready to tell you. I was born with a progressive neuromuscular disease, which requires me now to use a wheelchair. The reason I'm telling you this is because I cannot exercise and I'm not very active. So now I know you're thinking, what does this have to do with the carnivore diet? Well, it has everything to do with the carnivore diet. On my first go around on the carnivore diet, I lost over 50 pounds by doing nothing besides eating meat, butter, and eggs. So if I can basically be as active as a rock and lose 50 pounds, there's no excuses for anybody else that can just get up and walk. Hopefully, that's my successful attempt at being a motivational speaker for anyone that needs to lose some weight to be healthier and happier. My last and final point before I show you all this delicious food I've been eating is the most asked questions I've been asked since I originally started the carnivore diet and continued to do What Are We Eating videos. And the question is, why do you continue to eat this garbage food while you're on the carnivore diet? Are you still on the carnivore diet? To answer that question, cooking videos are what butters my bread, even though I don't eat bread anymore. So if I say I'm on the carnivore diet and you see me doing a video on a frozen dinner or something else that is not carnivore diet friendly, doesn't necessarily mean I'm eating that food. I can certainly sample the food and do something that Stormy Daniels would never do and spit it out. So now let's go over the food that I've been eating for the past couple weeks. When I was on the carnivore diet before, I was only eating one meal a day, also known as OMAD. I haven't made it to one meal a day yet, so I am occasionally eating breakfast, which usually consists of eggs, bacon, and sausage. And there's really no set amount. I usually pre-cook a dozen eggs or so, a pound of bacon, and a pound of sausage, and keep it in the refrigerator. And I eat as much until I'm comfortably full. And I eat as much as I need to until I'm comfortably full. Here's another example of 4 fried eggs in butter and bacon grease, along with some thick cut bacon. Here's another example of breakfast with some soft boiled eggs, with fried bacon, with some of the leftover bacon grease added to the eggs and bacon, along with some hot sauce. I like and have to use seasonings on my food, which makes me a dirty carnivore. The seasonings did not affect my results the first go around, so I'm going to keep with what's working for me. Hardcore carnivores only eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and only season with salt. I have the attention span of a gnat, and I need something to break the monotony of eating the same exact thing every day. So you do what works best for you. Try the hardcore carnivore diet first. If you find yourself getting bored, add some flavors. Just make sure there's no sugar in them. If you love steak, you're going to love the carnivore diet. I eat steak probably 4 or 5 times a week for dinner, like this 1 3/4 pound porterhouse steak that I slightly overcooked, but I added some hot sauce and butter, and it was still delicious. Eating steaks this side is what originally got me on the 1 meal per day diet. This would easily keep me full for 12 to 14 hours, and then I'd fast until it was time to eat dinner again. But like I said, at least for me, eating steak every single day is too monotonous. If you like pot roast, you can have pot roast on a carnivore diet. The way I like to cook it is with a little bit of black coffee, a couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce, a stick of butter, black pepper, salt, granulated garlic, and granulated onion. And you can eat as much of this pot roast as you like until you're comfortably full, and you won't even miss the mashed potatoes and carrots. Here's another meal you can have for breakfast or dinner. Fried eggs cooked in butter, hamburger patties or sausage patties, topped with your favorite hard cheese. In these I use Colby Jack cheese. Again, hardcore carnivores don't eat dairy, but me being the dirty carnivore I am, I do. If you're out on the road, traveling, or you get hungry at work one day and want to go out and grab some fast food, plain burgers are going to be your best option, and I think McDonald's has the best deal around. And if you didn't know this, McDonald's makes their quarter pounders fresh to order. And as far as I know, it's the only burger they have that's made fresh to order. So when you get them, they're piping hot and freshly salted, and they're absolutely delicious and only cost $1.25 a patty. And you can even add as much bacon as you like, obviously for an additional cost. Ronald McDonald doesn't give out free food. But stay away from the processed American cheese. That's no bueno on the carnivore diet. Now we love going out to Korean barbecues. The only problem with Korean barbecues is most of the meats are marinated in marinades that contain a lot of sugar. From left to right, we have top blade steak, beef bulgogi, and honey butter squid. Out of all three, the top blade steak was the only one that was not marinated and the only one I ate. Besides, the fatty brisket, which was also not marinated. The unmarinated meats will vary depending on the Korean barbecue restaurant you go to, so choose accordingly. But you don't have to go to the Korean restaurant to eat top blade steak. As you can see here, I bought a bunch of it to have for dinners throughout the week at home, and they're inexpensive. And the only thing you really need to season them with is salt. And of course, I had a few more steaks throughout the past couple weeks, like this 1 pound ribeye and this 1 pound New York strip that I made a pan sauce after I seared the steak, consisting of a half a stick of butter, a couple drops of Worcestershire sauce, about a quarter cup of black coffee, salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and granulated onion. And then one morning for breakfast, I had some fried eggs cooked in butter with some hot sauce. And then to round out the first 14 days or so, we had some steamed Chesapeake Bay blue crabs. Of course, we dipped them in butter. And with me being the dirty carnivore I am, I also dipped mine in apple cider vinegar. And then we also had some pan-seared scallops in butter. So it's only been about 14 days so far, and I'm already starting to feel great, and I'm beginning to feel alive again. So I hope that you, the people, will continue to watch my journey as I continue to get happy and healthy again, that I'm at least an inspiration to some of you who are in the same situation as I am. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.